Hi, friends, and welcome to my channel. This is a podcast where I enjoy sharing my insights. And today I'm talking about stop saying no to yourself. And I'm going to get into the mechanics of dropping into the heart. And the funny things that happen when you start listening to the dominant of two feelings, debating yourself. So we're going to learn how to stop saying no. And I'll do my best to explain what happens when you align with the perpetual yes. So stick around. We have these highly complex brains and an intelligence that's able to hold two positions, sometimes 3 or 4 positions at once. It's amazing how you can wobble, as Abraham Hicks says. And then you want to get to the place where the dominant feeling is what you really want. And it's so dominant it almost feels like it's already happened. And the question about whether it's possible shuts up. So the process is the mind, which to a lot of people feels like it's behind the eyes. But the mind is part of the outside world. The true inner nature, which is the feeling of dropping into the heart. Now, I'm not talking about the heart that your cardiologist looks at, because your cardiologist is not going to find your hopes and dreams inside of your aorta. It is a sensation of an epicenter which feels like the inner body, but that does not have a location. When you are of two minds, you have this kind of like this hourglass sensation, where the mind is very chatty and flighty and flits about with concern. And then deep in your chamber, your inner chamber, you have this, you catch a whiff of some kind of nifty desire. It's not a desire that when you drop into the heart, you don't get a desire like a craving. You get a desire like to quit a job you don't like when you have no other job lined up, or to leave a relationship that's just not going anywhere. See, the desires of the heart are going to lead you to things that you enjoy. They're going to be related to love, joy, play, frivolity. These are things you don't need, but really want from a fulfilling standpoint, just because you dig it, because you have to express it in some way. But you have to cultivate it a little bit, because the conscious mind will get wind of it. This is what happens. Like, I quit a job without another one lined up. quit a 30-year career, 6-figure salary. I loved it. It just kind of went, and this feeling in me said it's time to quit, but not in words. And the reason why I knew that it was time to quit is because I couldn't formulate a vision for it. This is another great way to know that if you drop into the heart, you can't formulate a vision for a current situation or a relationship or something you're involved in. Love is very good at saying goodbye. Sometimes it's good to let something go. And so when you drop into the heart, you might get a directive to let it go. Well, the first thing your conscious mind is going to do is say, well, who's going to pay the bills? How can you do this without an income? What about your health insurance? Can you just throw away all this? You get all these questions. You start questioning yourself. That's happened to me. So the heart's desire was not dominant. Initially, it's a smaller kind of, you get a whiff of it, and then the mind starts shutting it down. Like, oh no, we can't do this, or you can't do this, or there's no way you can quit a job. And so you stay chained to a paycheck, or shackled to a relationship, or handcuffed to some situation, because you're afraid to listen to that deeper desire. So you say no to yourself. That's what it means to say no to yourself, to get a neat idea that seems risky, but that would free you. But circumstantially, it doesn't seem possible. See, the mind is connected to the circumstances, the paychecks, the insurance, the benefits, all the additives. If you drop into the heart gives not a care about it. It just cares that you're doing what you love. Again, it's going to be related to love, play, frivolity, joy, and kid-like things. You see, a lot of spiritual teachers kind of gloss over the childlike teachings that are found in the Tao and in the teachings of Jesus. We can't skip the naive stage, the risky stage, just being a kid. The mind will resist that and insist that you stay as an adult and you make sure you have your insurance and your paycheck. Those are things that keep you secure. But you get to question that. But you can hold both of those positions in your being. Yep, you got to have the money. Yep, you got to have health insurance. Yep, you got to participate in structured society. But then you have to honor that part of you that says we can abandon that. And so what do? Well, you can only deny yourself so much before you realize your spirit is weary. You have no inner life. If you keep saying no to yourself like that, no to your desires because you're afraid of risk, your spirit withers and you get dull. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So I think a lot of people are yearning to do something adventurous, creative, fun, but they won't pay attention to that childlike demand. But when you start paying attention to that childlike demand, you get into this state of bewilderment where you feel like you're taken care of. And all these big issues that you thought you had to have end up taking care of themselves. If you become playful and you start chasing the dog and chasing butterflies and chasing frivolous dreams like opening a candy store or starting a YouTube channel, if you start chasing these silly things, the funny thing is that money chases you. You chase the dog, meaning play with the dog. Chase the butterflies. Chase these wild dreams to quit a job before you have anything lined up. It sets your spirit free because then you align with just you. When you do things like that, you just have you. And you, in life then, gives you an opportunity to prove that you are more than enough. It'll squeeze you into these tight corners to prove that you don't need a paycheck to be happy. You don't need a partner to be frivolous and joyful and fun and loving. You just need yourself. And that's why dropping into the heart leads you to these so-called risky things. Because you'll start dropping into this sense of aliveness where you see people with a glint in their eye. And these are the crazy people that paint pictures and sing songs and start businesses and don't have any regard for all of this serious adulting survival crap. They've stopped debating with themselves. They basically have stopped listening to the mind say, no, can't do that. That's against the rules. A real nonconformist is somebody that drops into the heart, maintains peace, and keeps that lighthearted characteristic about them. And they seem to be able to get these goals because the goals chase them. They're busy having fun building their businesses and their YouTube channels and designing their own lifestyles. So this is a lesson in learning how to align with the dominant feeling. You'll come to a point where you just can't be enslaved to a paycheck anymore. You can't buy the survival mode anymore. That's a spiritual awakening. You're starting to question this thing called structure. And you begin to test whether or not you can do without it. And you can. It's amazing what you can do without. And that's what happens when you start listening to the heart. You're going to have to learn how to do without a paycheck. You're going to have to learn how to do without your vices, your people, your money, your living situation, your relationships. And they all seem to be taken away from you. And that's how it was in my case. Until you're stripped down to the irreducible nature. Now what? You're free. Life will take it all away from you until you realize you never needed it in the first place. And so you'll continue to then gravitate towards that naive, innocent state of being. Eckhart Tolle says something all the time. He says, find death before death finds you. I say this. Find infancy before death finds you. Go back into the womb. Be born again. This has nothing to do with accepting Jesus and all this stuff. But you do find a new kind of birth. One that doesn't grow up. One that you know, you get into this kind of thing like, well, what do I do about this? You get into a situation, you're not sure what to do about it. Well, it's like when you were younger and you were meddling in the house and your mom said, go play, just go play. That's what's happening to me. Every time I try to meddle in my affairs, it makes it worse. And I just, not in words, but in my spirit, I hear, go play. Just go play. It's taken care of. And if you can get into that feeling, if you drop into the heart, you'll realize you're taken care of. Go play. Go be lighthearted. Be sincere, but you don't have to be serious. That's what it means to stop saying no to yourself. To honor that lighthearted, sincere naive way. And people say, well, how can you just be so naive? And the rent doesn't pay itself. You're just not ready for this if you're saying those things to videos like this. The mortgage doesn't pay itself. Food doesn't put itself on the table. Who's going to pay my bills? You're not ready. If you're ready for something like this, it will resonate with you. You'll be like, I wonder if I can have a life of adventure and totally let it go. You can. That speech that Jesus gave about consider the lilies, they don't toil and spin, yet they're as beautiful as Solomon. That's true. A lot of people believe that's the unattainable ideal. And well, since Jesus was the boss's son, he had special privileges. No, we can attain that freedom. It's possible to gravitate towards play, joy, fun, frivolity. And that's when money chases you and opportunities chase you and all this stuff. Because you're free. You're free from the circumstances dictating your life. You get to be the boss, but the boss is a silly child who has a glint in their eye, who trusts, and who knows mommy's taking care of it. Go play. I'm using that word. There is no mommy. You're the mommy. I'm the mommy. But somehow it's deep in dropping into the heart. You realize, oh, I'm okay. I can trust. These bigger issues that I can't get involved in, stuff that has to be sent up the chain of command and to the higher being that I am, but I'm essentially the same with. Okay? So to say no to yourself is to really deny yourself this awesome, fun, free, and adventuresome life. But few people are unwilling to let the story unfold as it unfolds. This is moment by moment, play by play living. It's improvisatory, it's wild, but it's fun. Trusting is fun. Not knowing is fun. A baby loves themselves. There's no more issue when you become a baby. You love everything and everybody. But yet you're this vast, expansive thing that if somebody calls you an idiot, it's like putting a toothpick in the ocean. Can't hurt me. I'm wide-eyed. I've got a glint in my eye. I'm a child. I don't know. Anything I just said, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm really not pointing to anything. I'm just digging it. You see? I'm digging the words. I'm digging myself. I'm singing you a lullaby. I don't know what I'm pointing to. But I'm demonstrating something. And hopefully you're catching on to it. Drop into the heart. Let it lead you to adventure, fun, and lightheartedness. And stop saying no to it. It'll change you. And you'll find infancy before death comes along. And you'll be the youngest old person in the room. Like me. I'm 50. But sometimes I feel like a baby. Most of the time I feel like a baby. I even kind of look like one. I don't have hair. Maybe this is a speech about lightening up. Who knows? But that's all part of it. My name is Ryan. Thank you for watching. And please check out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com.